It's a SaaS platform with real-time data from all organizations that are government organizations that are able to deliver an intuitive dashboard for farmers and all the way to buyers across the world. All the stakeholders use properly the tool. They will manage the farm, the distribution, the buying. We're doing what nobody's doing in the supply chain. We know everything from the farm, the seed, all the way to the consumer. And understanding that whole supply chain, very few people know it. And the fact that we have economists, mathematicians, but also biochemistries, team members, it allows us to make sure that our algorithms are really in tune with the whole ecosystem of the river. We are able to manage better our inventories across the world. We will be able to keep farmers in the system. I'm Noria, and I'm the CEO and founder of Ag2Inc.
Grow Guru is all about strategic irrigation management. We're focused on helping farmers make more money by increasing crop yield, while at the same time more efficiently using water and other scarce resources in a sustainable way. Our second time through, we got tremendous feedback last year, as well as an investment from the Angel Conference, even though we didn't win the event. Grow Guru is focused on changing the world in a positive way by implementing solutions that allow farmers to be more productive and really address the crisis that we're facing around too many people, not enough food, and not enough water. My personal mission is to really leave the world a better place than where I found it, to contribute in a positive way to other people and to the world at large. I'm Patrick Henry, the CEO of Grow Guru. We're back this year and we're in it to win it.
The San Diego Angel Conference is sponsored by Brex, rebuilding B2B financial products starting with a corporate credit card for technology companies. Visit brex.com/the Brink to learn more.
Voxel is an end-to-end holistic medical imaging software as a service platform. We're trying to solve the imaging issue in the country and the misdiagnosis rate of near 50%, as well as a $27 billion annual waste in image spending every year. We're also providing ease of access, clarity, and speed to be able to access the images for a faster diagnosis to create a better outcome. No one else has taken the approach that we're taking, and what we want to solve with this is to be able to give family members more time with those that they love. We're hoping to change the world by giving better access to medical images so that a faster diagnosis can be made. My name is Brink. I'm the EVP of LifeVoxel.ai.
Noria Water Technologies is a Los Angeles-based technology company, and what we're doing is we're optimizing industrial processes by shining a spotlight on very critical and hard to access industrial surfaces using real-time monitoring and machine learning. There are limited resources globally, and in order to really take advantage of those resources, such as water and power and so on, it's critical that we use new technologies to push all of those processes to their maximum efficiency. A lot of industrial processes, such as membrane-based water treatment, which we're specifically focusing on with our flagship technology, the RO Spotlight, have been around for a long time, since the 1950s in fact. And without new technologies to push these processes to their limits, we're not going to be able to keep up with global increasing water demand. So that's one of the things we really hope to be able to accomplish by bringing our technology to market. My name is Sivan Cohen, and I'm the CEO of Noria Water Technologies.
The San Diego Angel Conference is sponsored by Mintz, a full-service law firm providing legal strategies to local, national, and global clients, advising on corporate formation and findings, bet the company litigation, employment and intellectual property registration, and protection, within a broad spectrum of industries. More at Mintz.com. Mintz, built on excellence, driven by change.
Smart Property is capital planning software that helps property managers better maintain and protect their properties. We're hoping to change the world by making things more transparent and easier to use when it comes to property management and capital planning. What we're doing is we're taking the old way of doing things, which is an offline process of spreadsheets and information through paper and file folders, and we're digitizing it. It's really the transformation of the built world into the online world. We give people more transparency and control flexibility so they can do these things online versus an old world way of doing things through spreadsheets and paper. since we're in the beginning of the fundraising process, working with the coaches and mentors through the San Diego Angel Conference. That's really helping us sharpen our pitch and our messaging and being very clear and articulate. We do what we do because we love helping property managers and we want to make their job easier. My name is Damian Esparza. I am the CEO of Smart Property.
We are Voxel, GPS for cell therapy. We provide non-invasive cell tracking solutions to our target customers in the multi-billion-dollar cell therapy industry. Immune cell therapy saves patients' lives, and the market is exploding. However, the major challenge cell therapy developers like Novartis is facing is they don't know where the injected cells are in the patients. Voxel has just a solution that tracks these cells in real time to provide real-time insights into where the cells are and to help clinicians make critical clinical decisions for patients. We want to help revolutionize immune cell therapy, which is transforming medicine as a potential curative treatment for cancer. My name is Mia Du. I am a founder and CEO of Voxel.
The San Diego Angel Conference is sponsored by Little Dog Communications, which provides strategic public relations and corporate communications to innovative biotech companies, both big and small, that are developing tomorrow's medicines and technologies to improve healthcare. Learn more at litldog.com.
Tools is a SaaS platform with real-time data from all organizations that are government organizations that are able to deliver an intuitive dashboard for farmers and all the way to buyers across the world. All the stakeholders use properly the tool. They will manage the farm, the distribution, the buying. We're doing what nobody's doing in the supply chain. We know everything from the farm, the seed, all the way to the consumer. And understanding that whole supply chain, very few people know it. And the fact that we have economists, mathematicians, but also biochemistries, team members, it allows us to make sure that our algorithms are really in tune with the whole ecosystem of the river. We are able to manage better our inventories across the world. We will be able to keep farmers in the system. I'm Noria and I'm the CEO and founder of AgTools Inc.
Grow Guru is all about strategic irrigation management. We're focused on helping farmers make more money by increasing crop yield, while at the same time more efficiently using water and other scarce resources in a sustainable way. Our second time through, we got tremendous feedback last year, as well as an investment from the Angel Conference, even though we didn't win the event. Grow Guru is focused on changing the world in a positive way by implementing solutions that allow farmers to be more productive and really address the crisis that we're facing around too many people, not enough food, and not enough water. My personal mission is to really leave the world a better place than where I found it, to contribute in a positive way to other people and to the world at large. I'm Patrick Henry, the CEO of Grow Guru. We're back this year and we're in it to win it.
The San Diego Angel Conference is sponsored by Brex, rebuilding B2B financial products starting with a corporate credit card for technology companies. Visit brex.com/the Brink to learn more.
Voxel is an end-to-end holistic medical imaging software as a service platform. We're trying to solve the imaging issue in the country and the misdiagnosis rate of near 50%, as well as a $27 billion annual waste in image spending every year. We're also providing ease of access, clarity, and speed to be able to access the images for a faster diagnosis to create a better outcome. No one else is taking the approach that we're taking, and what we want to solve with this is to be able to give family members more time with those that they love. We're hoping to change the world by giving better access to medical images so that a faster diagnosis can be made. My name is Brink. I'm the EVP of LifeVoxel.ai.
Noria Water Technologies is a Los Angeles-based technology company, and what we're doing is we're optimizing industrial processes by shining a spotlight on very critical and hard-to-access industrial surfaces using real-time monitoring and machine learning. There are limited resources globally, and in order to really take advantage of those resources, such as water and power and so on, it's critical that we use new technologies to push all of those processes to their maximum efficiency. A lot of industrial processes, such as membrane-based water treatment, which we're specifically focusing on with our flagship technology, the RO Spotlight, have been around for a long time, since the 1950s in fact. And without new technologies to push these processes to their limits, we're not going to be able to keep up with global increasing water demand. So that's one of the things we really hope to be able to accomplish by bringing our technology to market. My name is Sivan Cohen, and I'm the CEO of Noria Water Technologies.
The San Diego Angel Conference is sponsored by Mintz, a full-service law firm providing legal strategies to local, national, and global clients, advising on corporate formation and findings, bet the company litigation, employment and intellectual property registration and protection within a broad spectrum of industries. More at Mintz.com. Mintz, built on excellence, driven by change.
Smart Property is capital planning software that helps property managers better maintain and protect their properties. We're hoping to change the world by making things more transparent and easier to use when it comes to property management and capital planning. What we're doing is we're taking the old way of doing things, which is an offline process of spreadsheets and information through paper and file folders, and we're digitizing it. It's really the transformation of the built world into the online world. We give people more transparency and control flexibility so they can do these things online versus an old world way of doing things through spreadsheets and paper. Since we're in the beginning of the fundraising process, working with the coaches and mentors through the San Diego Angel Conference has really helping us sharpen our pitch and our messaging and being very clear and articulate. We do what we do because we love helping property managers and we want to make their job easier. My name is Damian Esparza. I'm the CEO of Smart Property.
We are VisiCell, GPS for cell therapy. We provide non-invasive cell tracking solutions to our target customers in the multi-billion-dollar cell therapy industry. Immune cell therapy saves patients' lives, and the market is exploding. However, the major challenge cell therapy developers like Novartis is facing is they don't know where the injected cells are in the patients. VisiCell has just a solution that tracks these cells in real time to provide real-time insights into where the cells are and to help clinicians make critical clinical decisions for patients. We want to help revolutionize immune cell therapy, which is transforming medicine as a potential curative treatment for cancer. My name is Mia Du. I am a founder and CEO of VisiCell.
Tools is a SaaS platform with real-time data from all organizations that are government organizations that are able to deliver an intuitive dashboard for farmers and all the way to buyers across the world. All the stakeholders use properly the tool. They will manage the farm, the distribution, the buying. We're doing what nobody's doing in the supply chain. We know everything from the farm, the seed, all the way to the consumer. And understanding that whole supply chain, very few people know it. And the fact that we have economists, mathematicians, but also biochemistries, team members, it allows us to make sure that our algorithms are really in tune with the whole ecosystem of the earth. We are able to manage better our inventories across the world. We will be able to keep farmers in the system. I'm Noria, and I'm the CEO and founder of AgTools Inc.
Grow Guru is all about strategic irrigation management. We're focused on helping farmers make more money by increasing crop yield, while at the same time more efficiently using water and other scarce resources in a sustainable way. Our second time through, we got tremendous feedback last year, as well as an investment from the Angel Conference, even though we didn't win the event. Grow Guru is focused on changing the world in a positive way by implementing solutions that allow farmers to be more productive and really address the crisis that we're facing around too many people, not enough food, and not enough water. My personal mission is to really leave the world a better place than where I found it, to contribute in a positive way to other people and to the world at large. I'm Patrick Henry, the CEO of Grow Guru. We're back this year and we're in it to win it.
Hello, optimists, entrepreneurs, investors, change makers, YouTubers, gamers, and lost Zoomers. Welcome to the San Diego Angel Conference, Digital Edition. I'm Benton Moore. I'm honored to be your fund manager and your guide through this unprecedented adventure of March Madness. Instead of canceling the conference, we are embracing the chaos and moving it safely online. Why? Why are we doing this? Because we do the right thing. At San Diego Angel Conference and the Brink, we accelerate innovation by bringing entrepreneurs and investors together. Ironically, we must keep them all apart right now, right at the end. This is meant to be a summit meeting, the culmination of a year of hard work and big human meetings. This competition began with 105 startups. Now we're down to 6 finalists, all innovating in different industries: ag tech, biotech, clean tech, fintech, medtech, and software. Entrepreneurs who are doing important work right now, who can't wait for 6 months for funding. So we practice what we teach. You pivot, you survive, you advance. Startup 101. So we can fund promising technologies now. Big world problems don't wait. The future is now, and the future is unwritten. Whether you're writing code or you're writing checks, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're an angel, we get to carry each other. We all have a role to play, and we can do well by doing good. It's my honor to introduce President Harris coming up from the University of San Diego. On that note, enjoy the show, and I'll see you on the other side.
Welcome. At the University of San Diego, our innovative change makers confront humanity's urgent challenges. It's what we do, it's who we are. And so we are extremely proud to be hosting today's San Diego Angel Conference, especially now during this time when humanity is confronting the COVID-19 crisis, when it's more imperative than ever for us to support and promote innovation. That's what this conference is all about. It's about those people who see a problem, figure out a solution, and then find a way to bring that solution to the rest of the world. No matter what stage they're in, entrepreneurs who are wondering how best to pursue their vision, hone their concept, create their product, secure their funding, or launch their business will find everything they need at the University of San Diego. Here at USD, when we think of being innovators and entrepreneurs, we think of it through the lens of also being change makers. USD was the first on the West Coast and remains one of only 43 universities in the world to be designated as a Changemaker campus. That's part of why today is very special at the university, because we consider many of you to be changemakers too. We also think of the San Diego Angel Conference as the culmination of all the hard work that our students have done across disciplines to follow in your footsteps. Our event today is one of the reasons why our students competed in the Fowler Business Concept Challenge and the Changemaker Challenge. It's why they've taken part in the Torero Ventures Lab, the Venture Vetting Pitch Competition, and the Fowler Global Social Innovation Challenge. The Angel Conference is the pinnacle. It embodies everything that they've learned. Not only are we proud to host this event, we are proud to support the work of people like you, who have brilliant ideas and then transform those ideas into actions and later innovations that can make a difference. I congratulate you, our innovators and our entrepreneurs, who will be making your mark on this community. And I also congratulate the investors who will help to make this all possible. Together, you are change makers. You are confronting urgent challenges. You are changing the world.
Such a great guy and a great organization. Again, our thanks to USD, who hosts the Brink SBDC and makes this program possible. We are glad you're here today, and we look forward to providing a unique, fun, and new experience. My name is Misty Rusk. I'm the director of the Brink SBDC at University of San Diego and founder of the San Diego Angel Conference. If this is your first time joining a virtual event, please know that we have a few ways you can interact with us today. First, check the description below for links to today's conference activities. You can open and download the program, access the polls, vote for your favorite company, jump over to the websites of the companies that are presenting today, virtually meet our sponsors, or participate in the chat, which we'll be running throughout, and probably on the left side. Since remote socialization is new to most of us, we'd like to start with some practice. Take a moment and using the chat box, right over here probably, right where you're joining us from today. If you're having trouble, you may need to create a YouTube account or log in using your Google account. All right, let's see who's participated in the chat room. Looks like we have folks from San Diego, Chula Vista, Carlsbad. Okay, this is great. We had 675 people register for today's conference, and I am so glad you could join us. Now that we've gotten brave and put something in the chat, let's keep using it all day. This is your chance to engage and participate. This program would not be possible without a committed group of people and organizations that help make it happen. We want to take a moment to recognize and thank our sponsors, Brex, Mints, and Little Dog Communications. And now for a few words from our strategic partner, the County of San Diego's District 4 Supervisor, Nathan Fletcher. Nathan?
Hey everyone, it's Nathan Fletcher coming to you remotely from the County Emergency Operations Center. We're obviously in the midst of a pandemic, a state of crisis in our region, and we're working every single day to address it. You know, one of the things that we talk about is that the coronavirus is contagious, but it's not the only thing that's contagious. A sense of community is contagious. A sense of purpose is contagious. A sense of coming together in a time of adversity and difficulty is contagious. And what we need right now is, as we begin to rebuild our economy, we need those innovative ideas. We need that entrepreneurial spirit to really kick in, not only to address the challenge in front of us as it relates to our public health, but to address the challenge of rebuilding our economy as we come out of this. And that's where we are dependent upon our entrepreneurs, our innovators, our folks out there who find new and creative ways. And that's why you're all here today, virtually, wherever you may be, to present your ideas and to hopefully have a great idea matched with a great investor in a way that can really get us all moving forward again. More than a year ago, in a tremendous collaboration and partnership with the Brink and the Small Business Administration, under the great leadership of President Harris, with our fearless leader, Misty Rusk, at the forefront, we launched Innovate Up on the simple basis that good ideas exist everywhere. Access to capital and support and engineer and accountants, well, that often doesn't. And our program is focused on 6 targeted communities that have historically been underserved, areas like Rolando and City Heights, Redwood, Choyas, areas where we know the entrepreneurial and innovative spirit exists. They just need a little connection. And that is in large part why convenings like today are so important, to give these folks an opportunity to share their idea and to have tough-minded, difficult question-asking investors really flesh out the merits of what might be the next great thing. And to everyone who is a part of this Angel Conference, I thank you. I thank you for your commitment. I thank you for your participation. I thank you for your commitment to one another. Eternally grateful to the University of San Diego, the Brink, the Small Business Administration, all of the staff, everyone who works so hard. But in particular, I'm thankful to those entrepreneurs and those innovators out there who are not giving up on the simple belief that a great idea, when matched with an equity of opportunity, has the potential to do things transformative. So congratulations to all of you. We will let you get to work, and I'm thrilled to welcome you, kick this off, and be a part of the amazing things that will come.
Thank you, Supervisor Fletcher. We are proud and humbled to be part of the Innovate Up program and to bring innovation to some of San Diego's poorest counties. We want to take a moment now to play with another tool, the polling function. So if you look in the description below, or perhaps Rachel's put it in the chat box to the side, you should be able to find today's poll. This is really important because this is how you're going to vote for today's People's Choice Award. It'll be the same link every time we do a poll today, and we'll change the questions behind the scenes. To test it out, we're going to start with a simple poll that you should be able to access now. Are you an investor, an entrepreneur, a service provider, a student, or some other very special kind of superhero? This is a great way to see who's virtually in the room with us. Just click the poll and choose which one best describes you. And we're going to come back and look at those answers in a few minutes. All right, I want to give you a quick overview of what's going to happen today. First, we're going to hear from a couple of more people, including last year's winner of the San Diego Angel Conference, Dr. Oriana Bretschker with Aquacycle. Then we're going to jump straight into the pitches. We'll hear from the 6 finalists, and after each pitch, there will be a quick recap of the findings of the due diligence team that spent the last month working with and researching each company. Then we're going to excuse the investors to go make the final decision on which company or companies they'll invest in today. While the investors deliberate, the rest of us will participate in the People's Choice Award, and we'll hear from a USD student participating in the Fowler Global Social Innovation Challenge. Finally, when the investors have made their decisions, we will find out who won the People's Choice Award based on today's pitches, and which company or companies the San Diego Angel Conference Fund investors chose after 3 months of hard work. Before we get to all of that, it is my pleasure to introduce the new Dean of the School of Business at USD, Dr. Timothy Keene. Dean Keene.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. My name is Tim Keene. I'm Dean of the Business School at the University of San Diego, and I'd like to welcome you and thank you for your partnership here. And the San Diego Angel Conference and our own Brink are really looking forward to a wonderful conference. So with that, I want to just say we share a lot in common. A couple of very specific intangibles that the San Diego Angel Conference, all of you, and the School of Business share are the ability to adjust and a commitment to free enterprise. First of all, the ability to adjust is evident by what you're doing today. Everything is virtual as an accommodation for the crisis that we're in right now. I'll let you know that the School of Business recently changed over all of our classroom delivery to a remote delivery, and we did that in 2 weeks. That's an extreme ability to adjust. The second thing, that commitment to free enterprise that we share, is foundational to the School of Business, as I know it is to all of you. Free enterprise is the way we raise society. Our commitment to free enterprise allows people to innovate, allows people to focus on major challenges facing society and solve them. That's really those 2 intangibles: commitment to free enterprise and the ability to adjust. So with that, I'd like to just again say thank you and welcome, and we'll look forward to seeing you over the next couple of days.
Thank you, Dean Keene. Today's event marks the culmination of more than a year of planning and 6 months of effort between entrepreneurs and investors. The San Diego Angel Conference takes place in 2 phases. First, working with our organizational partners through a lot of different channels, we encourage entrepreneurs from across the country to apply. Second, accredited investors work together to evaluate the applications and pick the companies that you'll meet in a few minutes. In this cycle, there were 105 companies that applied. Applications were due in December, and beginning in January, over 40 investors purchased units in the fund at $5,500 apiece. And then they started reviewing companies. First, they took it from 105 applications to the 25 semifinalists, and then 13 quarterfinalists, and finally to the 6 companies that you'll meet in a few minutes. At the end of today's conference, the investors will be sequestered in another online meeting room to deliberate on which company will go home with at least $200,000. Now I say at least $200,000 because this year the San Diego Angel Conference Fund investors exceeded our expectations by raising more than the $200,000 goal. As of midday yesterday, there were 63 units purchased and pledges for another 14 for a total of at least $400,000 for today's event. But wait, we're not finished. As you can see from the poll that should be on your screen right now, we have a lot of accredited investors joining us today. Actually, of the 675 people that registered for today's event, there are 171 accredited investors who registered. If you are an accredited investor and you are interested in participating in this fund, take a minute and look in the description below. There's a link for accredited investors, and you can find out more about the fund and connect with our team. And throughout the conference today, we're going to be updating these numbers. You'll be able to see the names of the investors up above and the running total of the fund in the ticker that's down below. All right, it seems fitting that just before we get to the main part of the main event, that we should get to hear from someone who's already been through this process. It is my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Oriana Brechker, the CEO of Aquacycle and the winner of the 2019 San Diego Angel Conference. Oriana?
Hello, my name is Oriana Brechker. I am the CEO and founder of Aquacycle, coming to you from my bathroom, since it's the only quiet room in the house. But since Aquacycle is a wastewater treatment company, I suppose it's appropriate. So first and foremost, thank you all for being here today. Thank you for your participation in the San Diego Angel Conference, and thank you to the organizers of the San Diego Angel Conference for making this happen, making it happen digitally, and so we can all participate safely in social distancing. We are thrilled to be a part of this community and are incredibly thankful and have filled with gratitude for what we have been able to receive through the San Diego Angel Conference and their support. Not only did we receive meaningful capital, but an entire team of advocates and unpaid marketers that have been promoting Aquacycle through the community and beyond. So thank you so much. And thanks for making this happen, because as small businesses and entrepreneurs, we need you all now more than ever. So since last March, Aquacycle's been busy. In addition to the funds provided by the Angel Conference, we secured an additional $2.1 million over the year. We expanded our sales pipeline from what was $10 million at the time to now $130 million in potential contract value in sales. We successfully executed 2 paid demonstrations with multinational companies such as Mars Chocolate and Anheuser-Busch. We exceeded our milestones in both cases by 2 or 3 times, and those sales discussions are still moving forward. We also secured multiple term sheets for non-dilutive financing, so as those projects hit, we're ready to roll them out. But all of that has changed a bit in the last couple weeks. Life now is very different than it was really just 2 weeks ago. So Aquacycle has had to make some difficult decisions. We are evaluating a temporary pivot, as many of our customers are as well, into producing personal protective equipment to help fight the coronavirus during this crisis. We are going to survive, and we are going to thrive through this period. So I want to say a huge congratulations to the companies here today. I'm so excited to see what the future has in store for you. And thank you again for all of you and for being here and supporting this community. So continue on and stay classy, San Diego. And thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, Oriana. If you want to know more about what Aquacycle is doing, you can find a link to their website in the online program and in the description below. Thank you for those of you who've been participating in the chat this morning as well. After the winners are announced, we're going to have a live networking session. Right now, we'd like to invite you to tell us where your interests lie and who you'd like to connect with during the networking sessions. After the winners are announced, in the description below, using the same polling link that you used before, and if you plan to join the networking session at the end of the conference, please tell us what you're most interested in talking about. We want to know what's on your mind so our moderators can start thinking about how to moderate those networking sessions. Are you interested in topic 1, talking with Dr. Sylvia Ma, last year's Angel Conference manager, fund manager, and she'll be talking on raising money in the post-COVID-19 era. Or topic number 2, chatting with last year's winner, Oriana Bretschker, who you just heard from. Or topic number 3, talking about organizing an angel conference with Benton Moore, this year's fund manager. Or finally, topic number 4, talking with a group of people about USD's innovation and entrepreneurship programs moderated by Rachel Christensen and Regina Bernal. While we're waiting to see what's interesting for live networking a little later, I'd like to give a shout out to our amazing team. 17 days ago, this was an in-person conference that we'd been planning for more than a year. In just 17 days, we went from not even knowing what all of this is called to a completely digital live stream event. Today, we're delivering on the 9th iteration, internally known as Contingency Plan I. We practice what we teach, we respond to market conditions, we pivot, we iterate, we refine. We're grateful to Finest City Entertainment, who's taught us so much this last 2 weeks. They're a San Diego company who stepped in to run all the production and make today possible. If you are trying to figure out how to do a virtual event where you need production capacity on how you do these kinds of things, they can help. And if you want to talk about our experience, please give me a call. I'm more than happy to share. I do have the best team, and it would be a real shame if I didn't tell you about how hard they've worked to bring this event to you. Noemi Peña, Chris Peters, and Rachel Christensen worked around the clock to make today's event happen and have stretched creativity into an art form and solved more problems than you can possibly imagine. Through this last year, Benton Moore, this year's fund manager, has been right there with us the whole way too. I have never worked with someone so committed to helping people figure this out. As a successful and exited entrepreneur, he's been great with entrepreneurs and has worked as hard as our full-time staff to work with investors to put this fund together. I am also super excited to announce that Benton Moore has agreed to be the champion for the Torero Fund, a USD-focused fund for alumni, students, faculty, and staff. I know the president of our university is watching along with several of the deans, and I am making the commitment to you publicly today that we will do what it takes to see the Torero Fund forward. Thank you for participating in the poll. The results have been running, and we've got a good idea about what you want to talk about later today. I also just want to take a minute and recognize one other very special Torero who's part of our team. Tyler Arden is a senior at USD. He joined us as a marketing intern last summer, but quickly stepped into C-level suite responsibilities. He helps us turn words into heartfelt messages and transform social media obligations into a robust path for authentic connection with the innovative companies that we serve at the Brink SBDC. We're going to take a quick minute here and cut to Tyler's video.
Here in San Diego, we're no stranger to the ocean. We watch, admire, and play in its water. These waves that we take for granted are the most powerful natural phenomena on Earth. They shape our coastlines and the world around us, yet the most impactful forces sometimes have inconspicuous beginnings. They start deep in the ocean, a single ripple, a gust of wind. Just 1 year ago, the San Diego Angel Conference didn't exist.
Came to San Diego. It became abundantly clear, almost immediately, that we have plenty of high net worth individuals and really great deal flow, and there wasn't a place to really activate first timers. we didn't know if we could come up with enough investors or deals. So to finish that year and have 3 times as many deals as we were looking for and as much money as we'd hoped to raise was pretty exciting. I think our biggest hope for the Angel Conference this year is that it establishes San Diego as a great place to start an innovative company. That innovative companies can come to San Diego and know that they can find investors who are not only willing to put their money down, but to become great partners.
It might be easy to focus on the figures and revel in big checks presented on stage. With over $500,000 invested with the inaugural conference, SDAC didn't become just the largest pitch event in San Diego. It was on a path to be the largest in the nation. Ask the winners though, and they'll talk about what followed, the way it launched a wave. The entrepreneurial ecosystem isn't the only aspect that rose with the tide though. Novice angels gathered and found a tight-knit community. They expanded on this calling, joining partner organizations like TCA to infuse even more into our region's startups. Now we gather again. The Surf Report is in, and it's a culmination of months of preparation, review, and refinement. A moment when we launched a new wave, generated by infusion of over $300,000 of angel capital into our region's most promising startups. Grab your board and get ready. That wave is about to break because the second San Diego Angel Conference starts now.
I love the idea that the bidding war for Tyler starts now. By all means, please chase this guy down. We want to keep him around. And now, without further ado, I'd like to kick off the pitches. I would like to introduce our first finalist, Patrick Henry with Grow Guru.
Good afternoon. I'm Patrick Henry, the CEO of Grow Guru. This is a map of the United States when you're flying from the West Coast to the East Coast. The vast majority of the Midwest is where farming occurs in our country, and farmers are going to continue to farm even in a recession. We're faced with a global crisis where there's too many people, not enough food, and not enough water. And optimal irrigation is the most critical thing for maximizing crop yield. But farmers are struggling with many issues, water, the environment, different types of issues with regulatory, commodity pricing, and they're just challenged with so many things and they need the tools to navigate. Grow Guru is all about strategic irrigation management, and optimal irrigation has the single biggest impact on crop yield and crop quality by creating a robust root system. The roots on the left are like a 2-cylinder engine. The roots on the right are like an 8-cylinder engine. Unfortunately, 90% of farmers are just wasting water. Only 10% are using soil sensors, and the rest are left to look at their neighbors what to do or use expensive sampling techniques. And the existing alternatives in the market are painful because you have to annually install and remove them in field crops like corn and soybeans in order to cultivate, seeding, and harvest. The issues extend to a high total cost of ownership, scalability issues, suboptimal yield improvements, and insufficient data continuity. An example of the scalability problem is you need to deploy the National Guard twice a year, every year, just to get soil sensors in and out of the 8.5 million acres of corn in western Nebraska. Grow Guru has a different solution. We bury the soil sensors underground below the till depth, and they're permanently installed there, so farmers can farm over the top. We then transmit that data using our proprietary and patented wireless underground technology, which we call the WUGs. We bridge from the WUGs to a LoRa network, which is an industry standard network, to LTE to the cloud. In the cloud, we add machine learning algorithms, as well as other data like weather forecast and water application from the center pivot irrigation system, and then give a very easy and intuitive user interface to farmers to help them optimize irrigation. And our next generation of technology, we're going mobile with the above ground unit so you can mount it onto a drone or a center pivot irrigation system. Grow Guru's value proposition is far superior to the existing alternatives. We reduce the total cost of ownership by eliminating the need for annual install and removal. We have a 30x improvement in install scalability because we install during the 6-month fallow season when there's not crop in the ground instead of a 4-week window right after the crops come out of the ground. And you have to do that twice a year, every year with the alternatives. With Grow Guru, it's once every 5 years. Our starting point is 10 to 20% increase in yield improvement, but we think we're going to do better than that over time because the algorithms continue to get better and better as they stay in the ground. We have multiple modes of sustainable competitive advantage. Our product, which enables the permitted install, gives us clean data to apply machine learning algorithms. We have a roadmap to mobile. We have intellectual property protection with 8 patents issued and pending. We have extensibility to other inputs like micronutrients in the soil, which helps you monitor fertilizer application. And we have key strategic partnerships, including a great dealer network to service the farmers, contract manufacturing, and key strategic partners. Farmers love what we're doing. They love the permitted install. They hate the annual install and removal treadmill that they've been on over the last several years. It's a massive market opportunity, $2 billion market in the US and $20 billion worldwide. There's 52 million acres of irrigated crops in the US alone, which is about 44 million of field crops, so a massive market opportunity. Our go-to-market, our business model can currently sell the hardware, and we have an annual subscription. But over time, as we move to volume and get a more solid balance sheet, we're going to move to a subscription-only model, which will help accelerate adoption. Our go-to-market is we use sales channels, and the dealers in our network have been clamoring to work with us because of their inability to really even use the annual install removal model because labor is most scarce during that time of seeding and harvest. They love that they can do the install during the 6-month fallow season. Our go-to-market also includes a phased approach. We started in California and then Arizona. We then moved to the Texas Panhandle, the Mississippi Delta, and Washington State. We've been deploying in those geographies for a little over a year. We're now deploying in Nebraska and Kansas and some of the other areas of the Western Corn Belt. And then eventually we'll be in the Midwest, rain-fed areas, and international opportunities come next. Our deployment map looks like this. We've already made significant progress in the Western Corn Belt, also known as the Ogallala Aquifer. We're in multiple crop types, have deployed over 2,000 sensors across 80 customers and 20 crop types. We have a very experienced team with the domain experience, technical knowledge, and business expertise. I personally have started 4 different companies. One of them I took public and eventually drove to a $1 billion valuation, as well as multiple other exits. Our co-founders have expertise in wireless communication, system engineering, as well as soil sensor technology. Our other management team members have expertise in crop science and building businesses. The potential exits for our company are vast. We can sell potentially to farm supplier and equipment companies, irrigation equipment companies, or even big data players. M&A has ranged in the $150 million to $1 billion range for companies in the ag tech space. We already have revenue and we're growing rapidly. We've had a 500% compounded annual growth rate over the last 3 years, and we were on a $1.5 million run rate in Q4 2009. We continue to ramp, and we're in a recession-resistant environment where farmers are going to continue to farm. We're seeking $5 million in the Series Seed investment. We've already raised $3.6 million in pre-seed money from Angels Family Office and accelerator funds. We're going to focus on product development, continued sales channel development, and sales expansion with that expansion capital. Grow Guru is addressing a large and explosively growing market that's recession resistant. Our wireless underground enables permanent install, which gives us the ability to use AI in the cloud and make better recommendations to farmers about when and how much to irrigate. For the farmers, the payback period is less than 1 growing season, and our business model moves to subscription only, which will massively expand the market opportunity over the coming years. We have multiple modes of sustained competitive advantage that keeps competitors out as we continue to expand our business. We hope you join us on the journey to take Grow Guru to the next level and continue to demonstrate our leadership in strategic irrigation management.
Grow Guru's due diligence team was led by Sherman Antow. The team liked the robust technology and Grow Guru's ability to be a leader in the marketplace, offering something no one else has. Their solution has lowest cost per acre among their competitors. They have an experienced team, growing revenues, and expanding sales channels. During the due diligence process, the team identified several potential risks and ways for Grow Guru to mitigate those risks. Like many startups, Grow Guru has limited runway. The current round of fundraising will bridge the gap between today's operations and Series A round in the near future. Another identified risk is a long sales cycle and the direct relationship between sales and drought that could ignite customer interest. The thing that stands out about Grow Guru is that they are the only known company in the market who has successfully developed and deployed wireless underground sensors. This makes a great angel investment because it's disruptive in the marketplace, offering higher quality information for farmers, lower price, and faster response time than its competitors. As precision farming expands, the number of companies will naturally contract and consolidate over the next few years, providing an opportunity for Grow Guru to purchase its competitors or be acquired in a successful exit.
The San Diego Angel Conference is sponsored by Brex, rebuilding B2B financial products starting with a corporate credit card for technology companies. Visit brex.com/thebrink to learn more.
Thank you. Again, that was Patrick Henry, CEO of Grow Guru. And we are grateful for Brex and their ongoing commitment to the San Diego Angel Conference. Next up, we have Martha Montoya with Ag Tools.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Martha Montoya, and I'm the CEO and founder of Ag Tools, a SaaS product for the food supply chain, a global challenge. Everybody understands or thinks that product from farm to table is very easy. Looks like, but definitely is complex. And in the last week, 2 weeks, we have understood that it's a very complex, uncertain, and definitely there's a misalignment across the full supply chain. In particular, each one of these actors of the industry have to be part of this. And if they're not part of it, then the misalignment happens. We know today that there's 67 variables that impact at any time our food supply chain. We understand that we address them. Those misalignments are causing food waste and very much financial losses across everyone, in particular the farmers. From farm to distribution centers, we're losing 4,900 truckloads per day in the United States. And with the last 2 weeks, we'll start seeing the numbers rise up because of this misalignment. So each one of the actors of the two extremes of the chain need all this information, but they need them at different times. We at Ag Tools can provide that, and we'll tell you how. We take a whole centralized platform, we gather the data, and we put it in a very simple format, real-time, relevant, and accurate data. Well, we are called the Bloomberg or the Reuters of the industry of the food supply chain and the food market, and we definitely are proud of that. What I'll tell you is a couple examples. Retail. Let's say a buyer wants to understand what are the holidays, there you have them. Then they want to understand what are the weather patterns, there you have it. And then based on that, because he or she needs freshness and accuracy on the stores, we'll make the call to the farmer or the shipper to make sure that they get it on time to the stores and from the right place. Now let's go to the other extreme of the supply chain, which is the actual farmer. The farmer or the large farmer operations who want to know where can they be shipping based on the different patterns of the market. By knowing that there's a better market, calls the shipper, the buyer, the distributor, and say, instead of sending it to New York, let's send it to Chicago. And with that one call and looking at 5 seconds of the tool, now you have made $2 extra. That's over $5,000 per truckload. What we do is we mine data from all over the world. We take government data, institutions get data, academic data, and we put them in one place, plus our proprietary data, which is called APES. And APES is the accumulation of all the commodities in all the microclimates and how they behave to be able to predict and give alert systems. Then we pass it and we go through the whole process of algorithms, mathematics, and obviously our agri-industry expertise, and the very agile in-house team that can change as we go with the industry. And this is what we have. We have a product that is in the same data in 5 different formats. A daily report on your phones, on your smartphones or your iPads, your computers, and lately with our TV screen, which is now on the commodity selling floors. So we have gone from $1.99 per farmer, per commodity, per month, per individual, to a corporate one that is $499. And with our TV screens, we have raised the ticket pricing, not only on the one time, but on the yearly contract and on the amount of commodities. Our market penetration, and after we had done the research through Stanford University and UC Davis, we understood that there were 17 industries that will be impacted by what we're doing. But we understood that we couldn't take it all and go after $126 billion market. So we decided, let's focus on the first actors of the industry, which are the buyers and the farmers, and in between, and let's go after the distributors, the brokers, the food service, the buyers, and that's what we are doing as of today, very focused. And here are some of our customers, which are many of the names that you might know, and making sure that we have a variety of them. More important than ever also is the fact that we are expanding heavily overseas. Everybody wants to understand how the market behaves in the United States and around the world. And the fact that I have been knowledgeable about the industry, international industry, we know how to work the Department of Commerce, the Department of Agriculture overseas, grants, incentives to take our technology all over the world. How does it work? We take like one POC customer with 33 licenses, and we know that that potential is 150 licenses. We manage it very properly, and we can have a yearly revenue of $360,000. We have 3 channels. The 3 channels for scalability are Blue Book, which is the Dun & Bradstreet of the industry, credit rating. We have gone through 6 months process to understand how our tool was a proper tool and valid tool, and now we have access to 15,000 members and 30,000 farmers, which our sales team is working. USD Global, it's a California company, it's a $1 billion company who serves all the retailers in technology, and we are able to now have our first POC, and now we're going into the second one. And then the latest one, which is Microtech. Microtech is a prime contractor for the last 15 years to the US government, and now, as of this weekend, we're starting to go after unsolicited bids, contracting, because of innovation is what everybody needs right now in the food supply chain. What is the return on investment to a customer? So an average truck is around $35,000. If they buy the membership, there's a 17.5 return on the customer. So as you understand, it's very easy for the customer to buy the tool because they feel they're getting the return on investment. Our metrics, the amount of users, 150,000. We have a customer acquisition of 1,350. We have a customer lifetime value of over $9,000, a churn rate of 7%. What we're going to do is focus definitely in the food supply chain, specifically now with the what's going on worldwide. But we're going to definitely target now in front government, because there are a large amount of contracting happening right now, and then definitely the banks and insurance companies that are going to be part of this whole recovery in the United States. We hope to do the 2.3. We will do the 2.3. We hope to make sure that we do more than that on the first year now with what's going on, unfortunately. Here's our competition. We have methodically researched these with our channel partners, the people who are using the tool, and we know now that the number one competitor, 50% of that, is buyers talking to each other, farmers talking to each other, and unreliable data. The second one is Google, which is just 10 and 15 clicks to find anything that is related to the topic. USDA, which is also an aggregator, but is not the one scrubbing the data. We are going behind all of this to make sure we get the right data. And the weather companies that definitely don't understand the agricultural industry unless you are a farmer. Who are behind it? Behind me, there are 2 amazing guys. Myself, I have been 25 years in the industry, 4 continents, many crops, for many multinationals, especially in the supply chain, believe it or not, from shipping a banana boat from Ecuador all the way to St. Petersburg, or any of that type of product. Gustavo, who's our CTO, he has 7 industries under his belt: meteorology, supply chain, telecommunications. He understands hardware, software, and being one of the first Amazon engineers. And Oscar, who is an aerospace engineer who sees the world from the outside and has been able to create this amazing algorithms to do more predictability. We're raising $1 million. We are 230 already on. And what we're going to do with the money is definitely bring more engineer, more forecasting. We're going to definitely do the IP, because now through this due diligence process, we understand that we can do it at a much less expense than we thought originally. So we were starting the process. The return today, I can tell you, is very easy, 35 to 40%, 40x for the next 5 years. Why? Because now we understand the growth is going to be much faster based on what's going on in the world. The exit strategy is very important. We know that there are 5 industries within this that we can exit. And we are making a point to have a specific targeting of these customers, and we're starting to work with them, whether it's a bear with a seed company or whether it's a bass for the aggregated, for the elements to the farmers, and definitely the companies that are starting to look for being in the farming industry, like the IBMs and the Amazons of the world, and obviously definitely the Reuters and the Nielsen's. I can tell you today that the industry is a solid industry, and the growth is going to be one of the fastest growing as of even last week, 33% increase on sales across the world, across the United States, I'm sorry. So we know that we're in a great industry of growth. And since 2008, when I lived the recession, fruits and vegetables are definitely one of the fastest growing. I thank you very much, and I hope to have the opportunity to work with some of you to make sure that we take the supply chain and solve some of the problems worldwide.
AgTools' due diligence team was led by Bobby Edelman. The team liked the way AgTools manipulates data on pricing, weather, and logistics to address a substantial waste and inefficiency problem in the agriculture food supply chain, helping growers, distributors, logistics, and grocers make better decisions. They have a strong management team and innovative user interface design and already have over 50 customers. The team appears coachable and is easy to work with, and they have an exit strategy with several different paths. During the due diligence process, the team identified several potential risks and ways AgTools might mitigate those risks. Like many startups, AgTools has a limited runway. AgTools is currently in discussions with a number of investors to address their current fundraising needs. Although AgTools' solution is complex, they have little ability to create intellectual property protections around it. To remedy this, AgTools is working on a design patent to provide some protections. The thing that stands out about AgTools is the team's unique combination of a CEO with 25 years of agri-industry experience with a strong CTO. Their platform is sold as a SaaS model to growers, distributors, logistics, and grocers who use it to make real-time decisions on growing, shipping, and buying over 500 fruit and vegetable commodities. The other big thing as a due diligence team likes about AgTools is the potential for substantial 30x ROI down the road.
The San Diego Angel Conference is sponsored by Mintz, a full-service law firm providing legal strategies to local, national, and global clients, advising on corporate formation and findings, bet the company litigation, employment, and intellectual property registration and protection within a broad spectrum of industries. More at Mintz.com. Mintz, built on excellence, driven by change.
Thank you. Again, that was Martha Montoya, CEO of AgTools. Before I introduce the next speaker, I'd like to give a quick shout out to our title sponsor, Mintz. Beyond their sponsorship of the event, Mintz provided legal support for all of the fund's legal documentation, and they've worked with a countless number of entrepreneurs connected to the Brink SBDC, to Innovate Up, and to the San Diego Angel Conference through their ongoing support of USD's legal clinic with the USD School of Law. Next up, we have Damien Esparza with Smart Property.
Hi, good morning. My name is Damien Esparza, and I'm the founder of Smart Property. Smart Property provides finance tools for property managers to better manage homeowner associations, or condos, as we like to call them in our industry, HOAs. The problem today is that HOAs essentially live in the dark ages. There's poor financial management, they work with really antiquated tools, and they lack transparency. Many of you probably have lived in associations and want to know where the money's going. And so we did some analysis on this industry and found out that 22% of these condo associations, these homeowners associations, are projected to run out of money in the next 5 years. How many of you have actually been impacted by a special assessment, right? This makes it very, very hard for property managers to effectively manage these communities. The ecosystem. So right now, there's essentially 4 large stakeholders we see that play into this ecosystem. There's the condos homeowners that pay their fees, that ultimately want their communities maintained. There's board members that are responsible for essentially governing and overseeing, making sure that projects are getting completed, getting any kind of financing options that might have to happen. And then there's also property managers that are in charge of preparing a budget. They may look at what the capital spend is going to be, and they work with the boards in terms of approving and adopting different measures to effectively manage these communities. The last large stakeholder in this situation or this ecosystem is really the financial institutions. Financial institutions are required to look at lending, funding of loans, looking at wealth management opportunities in terms of managing these capital reserves, and also collecting that monthly money. In terms of market size, so we really look at the market size as projected to be around $7 billion. It's really important to see what we're actually looking at. We're really looking at the consolidation of asset and financial management. And really looking at the capital spend and the shortfall or the funding shortfall of the gap between the actual capital spend and the money required to actually do the work. Overall, though, it's a huge market. There's approximately $250 billion that's collected through assessments and then reserves that are utilized for these capital spends, and this money is actually mandated. In terms of our solution, we're providing HOA finance tools to better manage this capital spend. We provide a health report, what we call a wellness report for these associations, giving better transparency, and then also effective planning tools. These help predict when these capital needs are going to be required and the funding that's necessary in ultimately maintaining these communities. We are taking the guesswork out of this process today. Where we see ourselves really in the future is ultimately helping them with these financing solutions and really envision ourselves as the Credit Karma for HOAs. How it works today. The current process is the offline data aggregation. So we've actually have a partnership with a very large company, a national architectural engineering firm. They'll actually aggregate that information offline out in the field. We provided the service through a data collection, and then we charge it for an annual subscription. And then digitally, our customers are able to see this information wherever they're at, from remote work spots or from virtual conference rooms, whatever it may be, they can actually access and manage their properties better using our cloud-based application. The law. So what's driving this process today? Approximately 85% of associations are driven by some form of law regarding capital spend, reserves, and disclosures. And we see this as a primary driver of our business today. And it's something that's actually really good given the economic downturn that we're all facing right now. In terms of what does the market look like, and actually what does competition look like? We really see ourselves as redefining the market. Right now, we see ourselves sitting in the middle of really 3 large, independent markets in themselves. One is the property and asset management software, right? Companies like Yardi, Appfolio. The other is the property data analytics, right? Companies like CoreLogic. And the other is the financial institutions. And we really see ourselves sitting in the middle of all that, allowing for transactions, allowing for capital spend, and ultimately allowing for financing options to be available for our customers in this marketplace. Who are we selling to today? Today, we're selling to property management companies, and then we're also selling through property managers to the associations themselves. Those are our primary direct go-to-market channels. In terms of the property management companies, there's about 10,000 association management companies. We see that the annual contract value of those is around $20,000. That's a high-touch type of customer. We're also selling a much more low-touch customer is to the property managers themselves. And there's about 55,000 targets that we see in terms of that segment as well. Go-to-market. Our go-to-market strategy is really about the strategic partnerships that we've developed over the last 6 months, and it really does lead to our competitive advantage, right? So we have a relationship with a company called Noria. It's a co-op. They have about 7,000 associations through 70 management companies that they work with. Town Square is another one. They have about 10,000 associations. And then we have partnerships with a data collection firm that does field inspections called Bureau Veritas. We've also partnered with RBC, which is a wealth management company that really helps feed into our next phase of where we see ourselves going as being a wealth management provider or service provider to these associations. In terms of traction by numbers today, our MRR is currently 17,000. We have an annual contract value of our ideal customers about 25,000, and we have a really low churn rate of about 6%. What this tells us, and I should say that all of our customers have renewed to date on our large customer base, our large customer segment, our high touch ones. What this tells us is that customers are looking for a better way to do things, right? They're early adopters, and we really see this as a very positive sign going forward in terms of how we provide more value in our product. What our partners are saying. So I think what's really important here is that, our partners are saying that we distinguish them in the marketplace. More importantly, it took this customer, or this partner, RBC, it took them 35 years to aggregate about 300 million in assets. We've already collected that much in quadruple in just 2 years. So it just goes to show you the opportunity to scale a platform like Smart Property. Early adopters love our product. We helped this one customer in New York save about 100,000 from increases in their assessments. The customer essentially said we were the best capital planning tool he's ever seen. Milestones. Really important to see the amount of traction that we've gotten in the last 6 months. Innovia, the co-op I mentioned, Town Square, a mobile application platform, right? 10,000 associations on their app. Bureau Veritas to do the data collection, aggregate that information, and then RBC. We're getting a lot of traction within the last 6 months that is helping us, especially in this downturn. We have distribution channels that we can lean on, so we don't have to go try to acquire new channels to date. We can just focus on what we have right now. In terms of where we're going, really important to see kind of how we perceive ourselves long term. Today, we look at ourselves as a capital planning, health monitoring service. That's really kind of phase one. We're building into wealth management with some partnerships. Ultimately going into a lending platform, we really see ourselves as a lender of choice, especially as these financing gaps get larger in terms of requirement of capital spend and what they actually have in the bank. And long term, we see ourselves as ultimately becoming a banking platform. So this gives you an idea of us going from really kind of a prop tech company today to more setting ourselves up more as a fintech-enabled marketplace for tomorrow. Competitive advantage. I think the really strong competitive advantage here today is our strategic partnerships. I've already talked a little bit about that. Right? That gives us the ability to scale and really grow fast into these channels as we have a market downturn. We've also filed a provisional patent on some machine learning on data that we're collecting, and ultimately looking at a long-term database. We have about 170,000 data points that we're collecting right now. That gives us kind of a leg up for many competitors coming into our marketplace. Really just, and lastly, in discovering an unmet need, which is the ability for us to track this information over time. Forecast. So important to see here that we go, break even in fiscal year 2022. It's important to also see kind of the number of HOAs. We've actually broken it out by bookings, so you can see in terms of growth that we're seeing in our customer segment today. Who's on our team, right? We have a very strong team of domain experts and technical experts, and we're actually talking to 3 vice presidents of sales that sell into our market in software. They sell currently for different software providers to really kind of round out our team in terms of looking at domain and sales and technical. And we have a really strong team of advisors as well that have built and operated data analytic companies. Financing. We're currently seeking $500,000 in a convertible note. It's important to see that the majority of that money is going towards sales and marketing, and then it's also going to software development. We just released our 2.5 on Monday, and we've really seen that 2.5 in helping us acquire new customers with the added value of the features that we've launched. And in closing, we really see Smart Property as the future of managing HOA finances. We've discovered an unmet need and are filling that. We have an experienced team of both operators in the field as well as technical experts, established partnerships that allow us to scale and give us competitive advantage, and we have a defensible position. Thank you very much.
Smart Property's due diligence team was led by Dr. Sylvia Ma. The team liked the experience and knowledge of the management team in both real estate and software development. They also like the user interface and navigability of the platform. The due diligence team also established that there is an unmet need for capital for testing software for property owners and HOAs. During the due diligence process, the team identified several potential risks and ways Smart Property might mitigate those risks. The biggest issue Smart Property faces right now is a timing issue. The new platform could be perceived as nice to have and not need to have in the time of high economic uncertainty. The thing that stands out about Smart Property is their unique competitive advantage based on their industry knowledge in real estate and HOAs, combined with software development focused on data analytics to improve operational and financial performance over time.
The San Diego Angel Conference is sponsored by Little Dog Communications, which provides strategic public relations and corporate communications to innovative biotech companies, both big and small, that are developing tomorrow's medicines and technologies to improve healthcare. Learn more at litldog.com.
Thank you again. That was Damian Esparza, CEO of Smart Property. I have a little note that's been handed to me, and it says that we have 5 new investors for a total of 13 additional units. So we're super excited that this is working. And of course, we'll have to give them some time to give it full consideration. We're also grateful to have the support of a PR firm. Little Dog Communications has provided tons of insight and support to help get the word out about the San Diego Angel Conference. Next up, we have Sivan Zamir with Noria Water Technologies.
Hi, my name is Sivan Zamir, and I'm the CEO of Noria Water Technologies. At Noria, we're optimizing industrial processes by shining a spotlight on critical industrial surfaces with real-time monitoring and machine learning. Our flagship technology, the RO Spotlight Real-Time Membrane Monitor and Operator Decision Support System, cuts desalination water treatment plant operating costs by up to 30%. We currently have 5 systems installed in the field with paying customers and are generating SaaS revenue. Due to global water scarcity, it's becoming increasingly critical that we add to the world water portfolio by both using new and reusing existing water sources. One of the most predominant methods of water purification and filtration is called desalination. Now, when I say desalination, I don't only mean seawater desalting, but the desalting of any type of water from organics, salts, particles, and viruses. The main type of desalination, constituting 70% of all desalinated worldwide capacity, is a membrane-based process called reverse osmosis, or RO. RO is the process of taking water, pushing it at very high pressure through pipes called pressure vessels that are filled with membranes. Those membranes then separate out the contaminants from the produced water that's used across applications, anywhere from wastewater reuse, like at the North City Pure Water Facility just here in San Diego, and the Carlsbad desal plant. The RO market is positioned to double over the next several years, reaching $30 billion by 2025. RO isn't a new process. It's been around since the 1950s and was actually developed right here in Southern California. In order to meet rising water demand, however, new technologies such as Noria's are needed to push RO to its maximum capacity. The limitation, however, of membrane-based water treatment is the fact that operators can't actually see the membranes under operating conditions, leaving them to estimate membrane health based on conservative industry guidelines, indirect monitoring methods, and trial and error, resulting in a lot of wasted membranes, energy, chemicals, and water. The membrane, which is the most critical piece of the entire RO process, can cost hundreds to thousands of dollars per piece, and there are hundreds to thousands of membranes in a single plant. These images that you see right here, a clean membrane on the left and a very fouled membrane on the right, are images that were taken by Noria's RO Spotlight technology under real-time operating conditions, information that until today, operators have not had access to. Noria's solution is shining a spotlight on these expensive, sensitive, and hard-to-access membranes with the RO Spotlight Real-Time Membrane Monitor and Operator Decision Support System. The RO Spotlight enables the detection early of contaminants building up on the membrane surface from the deposit of the very first particle, and optimizes the entire RO process, cutting OpEx costs by up to 30%. Those OpEx cost savings are realized through a combination of increased membrane lifespan, cutting chemical and energy use, reducing plant downtime and increasing productivity, and optimizing cleaning procedures. The how of the RO Spotlight technology is through a patent-pending hardware and software which together enable the direct visualization of the membrane surface under real-time operating conditions. The hardware is essentially an extension of the entire RO plant with a membrane that's taken from the plant and placed in the RO Spotlight. A side stream of water that passes through the RO Spotlight from the plant is easy to set up and use and requires minimal maintenance. Those images are then sent from the hardware to the web-based software that displays real-time and historical images and data, allows for setting alerts and printing reports. Those images are then analyzed using real-time machine learning and spectral analysis in order to identify the type of contaminants that are building up on the membrane surface. All of that's rolled up into an operator decision support system to provide actionable recommendations to operators about how to most optimally operate their specific plant. That information is very important for operators because it allows them to identify and to treat the underlying cause of issues in the plant in addition to the symptoms. One of Noria's customers is Orange County Water District, a 100 million gallon a day wastewater reuse facility right here in Southern California. While it typically takes 1 to 2 years to determine a baseline of chemical dosing, using Noria's technology, they were able to demonstrate a 26% reduction in antiscalant dosing in just a 2-month period. While a typical customer would experience an ROI of 200% within the first year of use, the Noria RO Spotlight demonstrated a $250,000 to $500,000 a year savings for OCWD, which is an ROI of over 400% within the first year of deployment. In terms of market competition, indirect monitoring methods and membrane autopsies are the main methodology of understanding membrane health today, which results in retrospective information and late indications of membrane health decline. Noria is the only technology that can see the membrane surface under operating conditions, identify the type of contaminant building up on the membrane, and offer real-time actionable recommendations to operators. Or, as one of our customers recently put it, the Noria RO Spotlight is going to be the industry standard moving forward of how RO plants are operated. Bringing this technology to market, we have our team of industry experts across the entire technology stack. Noria was initially established in 2014 as a consulting agency, but we quickly realized that our RO customers could be better served by being able to see the membrane surface, and so we went about inventing a system that could do just that. Noria's CTO, Dr. Andrew Hardianto, has over 20 years of experience with advanced water treatment and a number of patents to his name. Dr. Bilal Khan is a data scientist and machine learning expert specifically as applied to industrial processes. And Dr. Yoram Cohen, Noria's technical advisor, is one of the world's foremost renowned experts in the area of desalination, reverse osmosis, and membranes. I myself have a background as a civil engineer and construction manager, most recently having built a sales, business development, and marketing organization for a venture-backed Israeli industrial IoT company. In terms of how our team is bringing the technology to market, we're initially approaching our target markets of municipal water and wastewater customers, power plants, and industrial customers here in the United States. In the US alone, we have over 20,000 potential customers and $1 billion in revenue. Our go-to-market strategy builds on direct sales and working with manufacturer sales reps to working with OEMs across the RO supply chain, namely chemical manufacturers and membrane companies, as well as working with owners, builders, and operators of RO plants. In terms of our traction to date, we brought in $500,000 in revenue in 2019 and have a sales pipeline of just over $4 million that's growing. Our current customers include Orange County Water District, NL Power, the Electric Power Research Institute, Tucson Electric Power, the City of Santa Monica, and our newest customer, Veolia, one of the largest global water providers. We're currently in final contract discussions with several global incumbents that own and operate RO plants and membrane assets across the US and internationally. The way that we work with these customers is through a software as a service business model with 1- and 3-year contract terms where the hardware is included as a part of the software subscription. Our annual recurring revenue is projected to increase through a growing installation base as well as added revenue streams through increased software functionality. We're also adding to our income through consulting with key accounts as well as bringing in grants to fund further product development such as NSF SBIR and CalSeed. To date, we've been self-funded through revenues and a founder loan. And to expand into the rapidly growing RO market, we're raising a seed round of $2 million in the form of convertible note with 6% interest, a 20% discount, and $6.5 million valuation cap. We anticipate raising a Series A of funding mid-2022 for the purposes of expanding into additional geographies, industry verticals, and commercializing a new technology that we have in prototype stage and just submitted the patent on for real-time monitoring of heat transfer surfaces in power plants. To date, the raise is 60% committed, and we're looking for investors to bring the raise to a successful close by April 2020. We believe that Noria has excellent exit potential through acquisition by players throughout the RO supply chain. Those include companies such as Suez, Veolia, DuPont, Evoqua, Danaher, Carita, and LG Chem. We're currently engaged with several of these companies going through technical review, demonstration projects, or vetting by their innovation and investment departments. And last, it's important to note that given the current public health situation, water and other critical infrastructure rely on reverse osmosis as a water treatment process to provide for public health and safety. We anticipate that the RO market is going to grow at higher than projected rates as a result and adopt technologies such as Noria's that can provide high quality water at maximum efficiency while cutting operating costs, and allow for RO plants to be monitored remotely, such as what we're doing here today. So with that, thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to speaking with you all further. Thank you.
Noria Water Technologies' due diligence report team was led by Brian Engelman. The team liked the strong, coachable, and responsive CEO who has startup experience and has put together a strong management team. The due diligence team also likes the business model with its reasonable projections, appropriate valuation, and very positive customer feedback. Noria Water Technologies has revenues and growth potential in an area that is relatively unaffected by the current economic conditions, and their use of funds is focused on sales and reducing production costs. During the due diligence process, the team identified several potential risks and ways Noria Water Technologies might mitigate those risks. The sales cycle in this industry is very long, and the Noria team has developed a hardy pipeline and is working those leads effectively. The due diligence team also found there are no outsiders on the current board of directors. However, they discovered Noria works closely with and relies heavily on outside advisors. The thing that stands out about Noria Water Technologies is that they have existing revenues and a strong growth market, excellent customer feedback, and the ability to make an impact on water quality at a large scale. The due diligence team also appreciates the opportunity for the product to pivot into other uses and sees a solid exit opportunity in the future.
Thank you again. That was Sivan Zamir, CEO of Noria Water Technologies. I'd like to give a quick shout out to 5 of our gold sponsors: Spire, Iron Forge Development, ATS Wealth Management, Goldfish Consulting, and Vantage Point Advisors. Next up, we have Bridget Brick with LifeVoxel.ai.
First, I'll start with a true story of my friend Jamie and her sister Jennifer. They lost their parents a few years back, and about a year after that, Jennifer felt a lump in her breast. She went to the doctor and had a scan, and nothing was found. Life went on as usual, and about 6 months after that, she still didn't feel just right, so she went and had another scan, and again, nothing was found. But just as time went along, Jennifer just didn't feel right. So she went back again 6 months later, and it was found that she had stage 4 breast cancer and nothing could be done. It's been a year since we lost Jennifer. That story is woven into the fabric of American society all too often and doesn't have to be. There are 2 things that would have helped Jennifer and saved that story. And there are better access to images and better clarity of those images. If Jennifer had had better access, she would have gotten a second opinion from another physician who could have found it sooner. If the images had been better quality with better clarity, it's possible it would have been found sooner. Our platform at LifeVoxel AI offers solutions to those 2 problems. We're the first ever zero latency medical imaging SaaS platform that offers an end-to-end holistic workflow. Our company currently is profitable with just under $1 million in revenue. We have profit margins of greater than 90%, and we're seeking capital to fund market penetration and market growth. Currently, the market, with what they have on site right now, is ineffective and costly. It's time-consuming, there's a lack of clarity, there's a near 50% misdiagnosis rate, like in Jennifer's story, and a $27 billion waste in annual image spend just in this country alone. In addition to that, it takes fragmented vendors to be able to offer an end-to-end workflow solution. What we offer is an answer to all of that. Interactive streaming, built-in 4D AR AI capabilities, AI that can lead to a reduction in those misdiagnosis rates, active engagement, current and historical patient data, and ease of access. We offer one single platform for that end-to-end workflow solution, and we're FDA, HIPAA, and state compliant. We also offer instantaneous interactivity with those images. What that means for our clients is enhanced speed, enhanced access, and enhanced clarity. That means you can get images anytime, any place, and on any device. And by removing the fragments of the industry and putting it all in one platform, we're able to save the inefficiency and bring the cost from $42 a study down to $6 a study. So I want to give you an example of what that means for a hospital. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to show you a video of how easy this is to access from a remote physician. So imagine your parent is having a stroke and they go to a hospital in rural America without a neurointerventional radiologist on staff. Your parent has to be scanned, CAT scan or MRI, and there's two options. Either the image can be viewed right away with very poor clarity, like the grayscale you see, or the image has to be downloaded for a deeper look at a more clear image. That download, because the images are so huge, takes about 20 minutes. So every minute that your parent lays there without oxygen to their brain, that's their capability to talk, walk, eat, sleep, and recover. So now what you're seeing on screen is what our physicians on our platform receive in real time the moment your parent is scanned. They're able to receive the depth and clarity that you see here and scroll through the skin, muscle, bone all the way down to the vessels. What they can determine from this is whether or not your parent needs to be given life-saving TPA that allows blood to get back to their brain and oxygen back to their brain, or if they need to be helivaced to another hospital to receive an embolectomy, which pulls the clot out of their brain. What our current client partners in the industry are saying is LifeVoxel has the potential to change the large investment spend from a CapEx model to an OpEx model. Through their delivery platform, they accelerate lower treatment costs with dramatic results to address the mounting challenges of physician shortages and fragmented care. And boy, are we ever in a situation right now in this country where we have physician shortages that our platform solves. We are confident that LifeVoxel technology will change the landscape of medical imaging as we know it. LifeVoxel will dramatically improve patient outcomes by improving physician access, expediting the speed of diagnosis, and accelerating the pace at which therapy is delivered. This is a current showcase of some of our current customers, including Sharp Hospital here in San Diego, O'Connor Hospital, and Oklahoma Upright. We are a financially stable company. We've built this company through several non-dilutive grants. We've had revenue since 2017 and lifetime revenue of just under $1.25 million. The market for this is huge. It's a $290 billion TAM. We have a roadmap to $215 million SOM in 4 to 5 years. Our current client base from last year included hospitals, imaging centers, and our platform as a play service, which includes partners like Hitachi, NuVasive, and Sony. Our 2020 current roadmap is $2 million. That includes current contracts and LOIs, and that does not include any projected growth. That's coming from Hitachi, partnerships like Hitachi, Germany, the Rotenberg Institute, who's already tested and approved us in 1 facility and adding us to 5 more, and then further expansion. And last, a hospital system in India with 222 beds who just signed us a few months ago. Our financial model includes a SaaS model that is a $60,000 ARR with a $300,000 minimum LTV because of a 5-year contract that's required to be signed in the industry. Our margins, again, are above 90%, and our immediate target market is 12,000 centers in the U.S. In order to grow and expand, we have a direct selling model where we're planning to hire in-house sales agents, both on the lead gen side and the AE closing side. We also plan to partner with distributors, one of which we just signed yesterday, who has major depth in 10 cities in the south and east part of the United States. We also plan to do things like trade shows, publications, and lastly, content marketing. Our 4-year roadmap to our SOM includes imaging centers. It includes penetrating telehealth. Now, the story that I told you about the rural hospital, 80% of U.S. hospitals do not have a telehealth program. For every patient they receive, that's a stroke patient, they lose $15,000, and they're required to treat that patient. With our platform, they gain $85,000. In addition to that, separately, hospitals need new imaging software. And then lastly, we have a global expansion plan. This is a more in-depth view of our roadmap to our 2024 SOM, and it includes a compound monthly growth rate. Our team includes a stellar business advisory board as well as a very knowledgeable medical advisory board. We have several engineers who are backing this and able to execute on everything that we ask. And lastly, we're protected by an incredible moat with 12 international patents that protects against market exclusivity, guards against competitors simply engineering around our solutions. We guard against future product development trajectories, and we have a freedom to operate. What we're doing is raising seed series of $550,000, $350,000 of which is already committed and in due diligence with another investor. $200,000 would come from you all at SDAC. We're also in talks with Series A by the end of the year. We have several Series A investors interested who have already put us in touch with their clients and partners, and we've gone through and are currently going through the due diligence process with them. Comparable acquisitions, we plan to do an M&A in 2 to 5 years. In 2020, InTouch exited to Teladoc for $600 million. Merge Pax exited to IBM Watson for $1 billion. And previous to that, Amicus Pax went to Merge for $215 million. We're developing partnerships with those companies who are likely to acquire us, such as Hitachi, NuVasive, Sony. There are current partnerships that we have. And then lastly, we're opening and doing due diligence with partners like InTouch and LifeImage. This is what the timeline looks like. Right now, we're seeking our bridge funding. We do have a current acquisition offer on the table for somewhere between 3 to 10x our current revenue. If we were to receive your funding for growth, in 2 to 5 years, we would be able to exit for anywhere between 80 to 100 our current revenue. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to your questions.
LifeVoxel's due diligence report team was led by Richard Lynn. The team liked LifeVoxel's interesting position in the market. Medical imaging is a growing market, and in general, the field itself is relatively recession-proof. LifeVoxel has a unique opportunity with their AI and cloud-based SaaS model. The team also likes that the product is fully developed, has a few customers, and high gross margins. During the due diligence process, the team identified several potential risks and ways LifeVoxel might mitigate those risks. The intellectual property surrounding this company is not assigned to LifeVoxel, even though the founder has control of the IP. Having the IP assigned over to LifeVoxel is one quick and easy way to address this issue. The thing that stands out about LifeVoxel is that the technology has been developed over a substantial period of time and is ready for larger market adoption.
Thank you again. That was Bridget Brick, Vice President of Sales at LifeVoxel.ai. We could not bring this event to you without the underwriting and support of our sponsors. And none of our sponsors pulled out as we faced huge hurdles over the last few weeks. Please have a look in the comments below to connect directly with our sponsors. And when we send you the thank you note next week, please look for ways to support the companies who support our community. Many thanks to the rest of our gold sponsors. Finest City Entertainment, University Growth Fund, the Law Office of Mike Kimball, and Seasons Financial. Next up, we have Maya Thu with Visicel Medical.
We are Visicel, GPS for cell therapy. My name is Mia Thu, founder and CEO of Visicel. I have more than 15 years of directly related experience in the field. And I am a trained biomedical engineer with an MBA and have previously taken technology from lab to market and have contributed to successful exits of 2 biotech startups. This is Emily. She was diagnosed with leukemia when she was 5. Her chances of survival was less than 20% when her aggressive cancer came back within 18 months. That was until when she received immune cell therapy Chimera developed by Novartis, which saved her life. Immune cell therapy is revolutionizing cancer treatment, and the market is exploding with companies racing for the next blockbuster. However, immune cell therapy doesn't work for every patient. Some patients experience serious side effects. That's because these are genetically engineered killer cells that go seek and destroy cancer cells in the body. It is absolutely critical to track and locate these cells in order to understand therapeutic efficacy to make critical clinical decisions for the best treatment strategy. The major challenge immune cell therapy companies like Novartis are currently facing is they have no idea where these cells are in the patients after they are injected. Clinical attributes take too long and is life or death for the patients. Visicel has just the solution that tracks the cells in real time in the body and is simple and easy to use. Mix our patent-pending biodegradable nanoparticles with the cells, where the cells uptake the particle and inject those labeled cells into the patients and observe using standard MRI available in most clinics. Our initial market for immediate revenue generation is cell therapy tracking in clinical trials. The total available market is tremendous at $1.05 billion globally and is rapidly growing at 20% CAGR. Visicel plans to capture $76 million by 2024. We calculated these numbers using the number of cell therapy trials starting in 2018 and the customer's willingness to pay. This is our market entry tactics to further reach into clinical space to sell directly to the oncologist to save patients like Emily with life-saving immune cell therapy. Our direct competitor, CellSense, uses modified MRI to track the cells, which requires specialized equipment that is not available in most clinics and hospitals. For example, there are 12,000 MRI machines in US, and less than 1% has modified MRI capability, and even then, it requires specialized staff training and is not for every body part. This created huge customer adoption problem for CellSense. Unlike CellSense, Visicel's technology uses conventional MRI equipment available in most clinics to obtain real-time cell location data for early and ongoing outcome assessment at 20 times cheaper and 5 times faster while reducing the patient's burden. In terms of business model, we are executing direct B2B sale to immune cell therapy developers for cancer in biopharma, and we have two revenue streams. One from the product with an average gross margin of 79%, and we have 4 products in the pipeline for different cell needs, and another with custom consultation services with average gross margin of 35%. We have just recently closed $275,000 in sales from contract. We have shortened and clear regulatory path from our initial discussion with the FDA using ANDA route. That is 3 years instead of 5 years to get the regulatory approval. We have 3 academic partnerships that are using our product, and one has already turned into a paying customer with $275,000 contract sale. We are currently negotiating with 3 biopharma companies. We are executing 3 major milestones while raising funds to increase the value of the company. 1, market awareness with key opinion leaders at trade shows and conferences where our abstract has been accepted for platform presentation. 2, we are executing full product launch in Q2 of 2020 with our frozen version of inventory ready in the freezer. 3, we are moving forward with 2 SBIRs worth $700,000 for non-dilutive funding. We are currently raising $1 million in convertible notes and have raised $200,000 to date. We plan to use the fund to support our go-to-market activities for immediate revenue generation in translational and clinical trial space, initiate regulatory path for clinical use to sell directly to the clinicians, and initiate preclinical evidence as predictive marker in cancer. Phase 1 of our corporate development is a direct B2B sale and initiating regulatory strategy. We next plan to raise $2.5 million to support our growth and obtain regulatory clearance through Drug Master File and abbreviate NDA, which is Generic Drug Approval. We'll be self-sustaining by 2022 and expect to generate revenue from clinical product through these regulatory mechanisms by 2023, allowing us to sell directly to the clinicians. As you all know, there are 1.8 million new cancer cases every year in the United States. This marks our first exit opportunity to out-license to the pharma companies. In our 3rd phase, we plan to establish strategic partnership with biopharma company to generate evidence as predictive marker. This generates tremendous value for the company and marks second exit opportunity with sky-high ROI for investors with out-licensing and M&A by strategic partners within 6 years from today. There are a lot of M&A and exit activities in this space by CROs and cell therapy companies, with Novartis paying an upward of $500 million for companion diagnostic or imaging biomarker. We have a great team with more than 40 years experience. As a founder and CEO, I'm leveraging my previous experience in implementing business strategy and vision that contributed to successful exit. Dr. Johnny Akers has both academic and industry experience in nanoparticle development and cell therapy. Dr. Amit Gentili, a practicing radiologist, provides us market insights for customer adoption and market entry. Our advisory boards of serial entrepreneurs and stakeholders in the industry guides our strategy. Why now? Why should you invest in Visicel? It is because there is a widespread critical market need for evidence-based safety and performance assessment with cell tracking capabilities like Visicel. And Visicel is a unique life science company with immediate revenue stream and opportunities with confirmed market demand and shortened and clear FDA path and strong exit opportunity in the space. Most important of all, cancer just doesn't wait. And patients like Emily are waiting for life-saving immune cell therapy to save their lives. Join us in revolutionizing immune cell therapy as it becomes part of the standard of care as curative treatment for cancer, with real-time insights allowing clinicians to make critical clinical decisions or treatment strategy for a safer, more effective cancer care. Together, let's put GPS cell tracker in every cell therapy. Thank you.
Visicel's due diligence team was led by Amy Duncan. The team liked this opportunity in a large and growing cell therapy market and Visicel's strong, near first-to-market position among competitors. The due diligence team identified the CEO as strong, coachable, and responsive, and that the path forward is straightforward from a business perspective, with a relatively short regulatory path for a biotech. The due diligence team liked the IP and early proof of concept study demonstrating feasibility of the technology. During the due diligence process, the team identified a few potential risks for which Visicel presented mitigation. Of concern is uncertainty related to the COVID-19 and its impact on laboratory research and clinical trials. The CEO has a mitigation strategy with several contingencies. The prominent feature of this investment is the opportunity to participate in the cell therapy market with a value-add technology that supports clinical trial studies. Visicel has clinical evidence that their technology works. They have product in stock, traction with customers, and are executing their plan to move CAR T cell therapy clinical trials forward in a way that saves time, reduces costs, and supports improved outcomes.
Thank you again. That was Mia Su, CEO of Visicel Medical. That concludes the pitches for the 2020 San Diego Angel Conference. We could not bring a program like this to you without our sponsors, our organizational partners, or the cooperative agreement with the Small Business Administration, which provides the primary structure and the annual funds to run the Brink SBDC. The Brink is a small business development center, part of a much larger network. Our local network is the San Diego and Imperial Valley Network. The funds are combined with grants from the governor's office through GoBiz, with the city of San Diego, and a special relationship with the county of San Diego. The Brink offers two things: free and confidential one-on-one consulting services and training for small innovation-based businesses like the ones you've seen today. In existence for just over 2 years, the Brink SBDC is San Diego's #1 accelerator, serving over 700 companies in its first 26 months. In that time, we've helped some of those 724 companies raise $47.7 million and impacted over 1,700 jobs in San Diego and Imperial counties. We're now bringing up the People's Choice Award poll. As you can see, people have already started voting. Scroll down in the description to find the link, or it should be in the chat for you as well. Our investors are migrating over to the deliberation room. And originally, we'd planned to have Levi King, the founder and executive chairman of NAV, here to join us as the keynote speaker today. Levi and his team have been great. They made change after change and delivered the full keynote address to us just a few days ago. Unfortunately, we can't use the footage today because of an issue that we identified late last night. We will make it up to you by delivering Levi's keynote to your inbox as soon as we have a remedy, and we're looking for an opportunity to bring him back in person when it's safe to do so. So now, while the investors deliberate, we're going to punt. I do want to start by taking a minute to tell you about the Fowler Global Social Innovation Challenge at USD. The Fowler GSIC is a global competition where 32 universities and thousands of students compete to fund a business or a business concept that has an impact on one or more of the UN's 17 social impact areas or sustainable development goals. Today, we're going to hear from Austin Hirsch, now a USD alumni and one of the 2019 Fowler GSIC winners, who is making an impact by working to commercialize the product he came up with while he was in school at USD.
Project Drawdown has identified reducing food waste as the #1 best way to slow global warming of 2 degrees C by 2050. The 2050 company makes value-added food products with the convenience of Keurig, the nutrition of our X-Bar, and the sustainability of Impossible Foods. Our first product, the 2050 Smoothie, takes aim at the most wasted foods in the world, fresh fruits and veggies. It's made from rescued produce that's freeze-dried, essentially eliminating waste due to perishability, and powdered so that a beautiful strawberry and an ugly strawberry become identical. You simply take the 2050 smoothie, blend it with ice and water, and within a minute, you'll have a refreshing real fruit smoothie. These are strange times, but maybe the timing's never been better for a non-perishable, resource-sensitive source of fruits and veggies delivered to your doorstep. It is time for the future of food.
Thank you, Austin and the team at the Fowler Global Social Innovation Challenge. In an angel conference, usually there's one person who agrees to take on the responsibility and the risk for managing the fund. That person is called the fund manager. We're not exactly the most creative bunch. In the best case, when someone like me sets out to organize an angel conference, we feel super fortunate if we can get a fund manager and a co-fund manager who agrees to take on management of the next cycle. As we started planning this year in February 2019, we ended up with 8 co-fund managers. The fund management team met every week for more than a year, and each person took on tasks and huge responsibilities to bring all aspects of this year's conference together. My deep appreciation and huge thanks goes to this year's fund management team: Sumner Webster, Amy Duncan, Mike Kimball, Jason Scharf, Dr. Sylvia Ma, Jad Duncan, Stacy Mudd Pena, and, of course, the fund manager, Benton Moore. And thank you to all of us for bearing with us as we are trying to make decisions that will be life-changing for the companies. The investors have deliberated, and we'll have some more exciting information to share shortly. But before that, we want to go ahead and play a video that tells you a little bit more about the Brink. It is one of my all-time favorite videos, and super grateful to USD's University Communications program that put that together for us and recently updated the numbers. I have a little bit of interesting news for you. Since we have been on air today, we've had requests from nine accredited investors for a total of 18 units. Those are people who have requested the legal documents and starting to look at those. And we have had 3 investors commit for a total of 4 units for this year's fund. So our running total is now increasing. And again, you can see the names of the investors at the top and the running total of the fund at the bottom. Right now, we'd like to jump over and show you one more video that we call the San Diego Angel Conference launch video that we use to help solicit entrepreneurs at the beginning of the cycle. All right, thank you again. That was very, very quick. One of the things that we do at the Brink is we do a whole variety of networking activities and other things to help our entrepreneurs connect with each other, to connect with relevant expertise, and to connect with angel investors. And we have been cultivating that list of angel investors for quite a large amount of time. I've been personally working on a list for about 18 years now, people that I've maintained relationships with. And one of the primary things that we do is we will filter for investors. So if you're an accredited investor and you know that there's specific things that you like to fund, specific kinds of projects that you want to devote your time and energy and your life and your money in, we are willing to help filter out all of the companies that are looking for funds and help match them up with your energy and expertise. We're going to jump over and take a look at some of the networking activities that we do at the Brink SBDC, and we have a quick video of our fall mixer. We know this is a really tough time, unprecedented in the history of the world as we know it, for certain. None of us have ever lived through quite what we're looking at. And there's a ton of uncertainty. So I thought maybe I could take a moment and bring a little bit of good news to you. On Monday, we got a call from one of the companies that we work with. And in the time since this whole thing has started, they were able to land an investment. A family fund out of the UK recently, like on Monday, invested $1 million in one of the companies. And as we circulated that story around, trying to encourage our own team and to support the great work that's going on, we heard 3 more. So there were 3 more companies who were able to secure funding this week. So in the news, while we hear the doom and gloom, I just want you to know that good work's still happening, investors are still making investments, and companies are still doing great things to change the world. Next up, we're gonna play for you what we call the countdown. And the countdown is a quick video. It's just a minute, but it's what we start with in the fall. So in the fall series, we do a total of 12 events for entrepreneurs to help them get ready to apply for this conference. And during that time, we do 6 events that we call pitch deconstruction. And so we'll put a room full of people together, 40, 50, 60 entrepreneurs, and we'll give them 60 seconds to run through their pitch. And they've got to reflect and hone on it And then we give some feedback to the whole group, and then we bring back 3 or 4 companies to give a longer pitch, and we dig into the slides and into the presentation. And we spend a lot of time talking about what's important to investors and what companies need to do to make sure that they're communicating the most important things and working, considering their audience and doing all the things that it takes to become effective fundraisers. And so with that, we'd like to give you a reminder. So if you would just want to take a minute and practice, this would be a great chance for you to do your own elevator pitch and watch the countdown as we do this together. So now, our San Diego Angel Conference 60-second pitch deconstruction video. We've heard that the investors are kind of wrapping things up. I hope that was a great little exercise. And know that we'll put that up on the conference website so that if you want to continue to practice your 60-second countdown and get a glimpse of some of the other companies that have worked so hard to figure out how to do this pitch thing, that would be great. We heard the investors are just about ready. We'd like to start with what we played at the top of the show, which is a quick video and a recap from each of our finalists.
Tools is a SaaS platform with real-time data from all organizations that are government organizations that are able to deliver an intuitive dashboard for farmers and all the way to buyers across the world. All the stakeholders use properly the tool. They will manage the farm, the distribution, the buying. We're doing what nobody's doing in the supply chain. We know everything from the farm, the seed, all the way to the consumer. And understanding that whole supply chain, very few people know it. And the fact that we have economists, mathematicians, but also biochemistries, team members, it allows us to make sure that our algorithms are really in tune with the whole ecosystem of the earth. We are able to manage better our inventories across the world. We will be able to keep farmers in the system. I'm Noria, and I'm the CEO and founder of AgTools Inc.
Grow Guru is all about strategic irrigation management. We're focused on helping farmers make more money by increasing crop yield, while at the same time more efficiently using water and other scarce resources in a sustainable way. Our second time through, we got tremendous feedback last year, as well as an investment from the Angel Conference, even though we didn't win the event. Grow Guru is focused on changing the world in a positive way by implementing solutions that allow farmers to be more productive and really address the crisis that we're facing around too many people, not enough food, and not enough water. My personal mission is to really leave the world a better place than where I found it, to contribute in a positive way to other people and to the world at large. I'm Patrick Henry, the CEO of Grow Guru. We're back this year and we're in it to win it.
The San Diego Angel Conference is sponsored by Brex, rebuilding B2B financial products starting with a corporate credit card for technology companies. Visit brex.com/thebrink to learn more.
Voxel is an end-to-end holistic medical imaging software as a service platform. We're trying to solve the imaging issue in the country and the misdiagnosis rate of near 50%, as well as a $27 billion annual waste in image spending every year. We're also providing ease of access, clarity, and speed to be able to access the images for a faster diagnosis to create a better outcome. No one else is taking the approach that we're taking, and what we want to solve with this is to be able to give family members more time with those that they love. We're hoping to change the world by giving better access to medical images so that a faster diagnosis can be made. My name is Brink. I'm the EVP of LifeVoxel.ai.
Noria Water Technologies is a Los Angeles-based technology company, and what we're doing is we're optimizing industrial processes by shining a spotlight on very critical and hard to access industrial surfaces using real-time monitoring and machine learning.
There are limited resources globally, and in order to really take advantage of those resources, such as water and power and so on, it's critical that we use new technologies to push all of those processes to their maximum efficiency.
A lot of industrial processes, such as membrane-based water treatment, which we're specifically focusing on with our flagship technology, the RO Spotlight, have been around for a long time, since the 1950s in fact. And without new technologies to push these processes to their limits, we're not going to be able to keep up with global increasing water demand. So that's one of the things we really hope to be able to accomplish by bringing our technology to market. My name is Sivan Cohen, and I'm the CEO of Noria Water Technologies.
The San Diego Angel Conference is sponsored by Mintz, a full-service law firm providing legal strategies to local, national, and global clients, advising on corporate formation and findings, bet the company litigation, employment and intellectual property registration and protection within a broad spectrum of industries. More at Mintz.com. Mintz, built on excellence, driven by change.
Smart Property is capital planning software that helps property managers better maintain and protect their properties. We're hoping to change the world by making things more transparent and easier to use when it comes to property management and capital planning. What we're doing is we're taking the old way of doing things, which is an offline process of spreadsheets and information through paper and file folders, and we're digitizing it. It's really the transformation of the built world into the online world. We give people more transparency and control flexibility so they can do these things online versus an old world way of doing things through spreadsheets and paper. Since we're in the beginning of the fundraising process, working with the coaches and mentors through the San Diego Angel Conference, that's really helping us sharpen our pitch and our messaging and being very clear and articulate. We do what we do because we love helping property managers and we want to make their job easier. My name is Damian Esparza. I'm the CEO of Smart Property.
We are VisiCell, GPS for cell therapy. We provide non-invasive cell tracking solutions to our target customers in the multi-billion-dollar cell therapy industry. Immune cell therapy saves patients' lives, and the market is exploding. However, the major challenge cell therapy developers like Novartis is facing is they don't know where the injected cells are in the patients. VisiCell has just a solution that tracks these cells in real time to provide real-time insights into where the cells are and to help clinicians make critical clinical decisions for patients. We want to help revolutionize immune cell therapy, which is transforming medicine as a potential curative treatment for cancer. My name is Mia Du. I am a founder and CEO of VisiCell.
The San Diego Angel Conference is sponsored by Little Dog Communications, which provides strategic public relations and corporate communications to innovative biotech companies, both big and small, that are developing tomorrow's medicines and technologies to improve healthcare. Learn more at litldog.com.
All right, thank you for bearing with us. A couple of updates while we've been away for the last few minutes. We've added 3 investors who have completely signed their documents and were able to submit their payments for their units. Happy to welcome Scott Arnold, Bill Scheffler, and Juliet Shepard to the 2020 San Diego Angel Conference Fund. We have just a running total 9 requests for legal documents for a total of 18 additional units, which it gets us close to another $100,000 for this year's program, if they all come through. So hopefully that works out I just want to take a minute and get on my soapbox. I do it every once in a while, not super often, but it happens. And you know, we all have different reasons for the work that drives us. And it is my belief, regardless of however you feel about politics or climate change, it's my belief that the world's in trouble, and in some ways in big trouble. And we're just one health crisis or one environmental crisis away from really devastating times. And it's also my opinion that we are not going to work our way out of those problems. That there's no amount of elbow grease and hard effort that's going to get us out of that trouble. But we might invent our way out. So I have dedicated most of my adult life to that cause, on helping passionate entrepreneurs move projects forward that make a difference in the world. Because I believe entrepreneurship is a path that you can take something that could have global ramifications, and commercialization is a way to take it out into the world. So that's me on my soapbox. And now we're going to jump over to the People's Choice Award. So you should see the poll coming up. And it looks like our third place winner, our second runner-up, is Ag Tools in the People's Choice Award. The first runner-up is Noria Water Technologies. And right now, for the People's Choice Award, the winner is Grow Guru. That's how it looks right now. So we just ask that you continue to participate with us and participate in the poll and check the description below. And we will be right back to you as soon as we have a little more information. All right, thank you for your patience. We know this has been a little bit messy, but it's live, so we're amateurs doing the best we can today. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce the winners of the 2020 San Diego Angel Conference.
Oh my God.
As we speak, we are patching in all 6 finalists. So behind me, you can see everybody. And you should be able to see them coming up on the screen behind me. And so, I would like to introduce the winner of the San Diego Angel Conference 2020 is Ag Tools for $200,000. We're going to cut to Ag Tools. Martha, go ahead.
Oh my God, thank you so very much. Thank you on behalf of farmers. I always have said farmers are the ones benefit from this. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
It's me again. All right, we are so excited to bring this to you, but there's more. Since the fund raised over $400,000, the investors have decided to make some additional investments. Ag Tools will receive $200,000, and each of the runners-up will receive $100,000. The runners-up for the San Diego Angel Conference 2020 are Noria Water Technologies and Visicel Medical. Congratulations. Now, normally, there would be a champagne celebration and some delicious treats, but since we're playing in this remote socialization atmosphere, we'd like to invite you to join us in one of the live networking rooms. You can join a room by clicking on one of the topics of interest in the description below, the ones we talked about earlier today. But before you do, I'd like to turn it back over to Benton Moore for a few remarks to close this year's San Diego Angel Conference. Thank you so much, and we will see you again next year on March 27th, 2021.
Wow, that was fun. That's a wrap. Congratulations to our winner. Thanks to all 6 amazing finalists. Great stuff. What an amazing event. I have a lot of thank yous for the organizing team. Thank you to the San Diego Angel Conference team that's worked so hard to put this together. Noemi Pena, Rachel Christensen, Tyler Arden, Chris Peters, the entire Brink team, my committee team that's managed the fund for the last year, Amy Duncan, Jad Duncan, Jason Scharf, Mike Kimball, Sylvia Ma, Stacy Mudpena, Sumner Webster. Thank you, thank you. To all of our great sponsors, especially the Tech Coast Angels and University of San Diego for hosting the event, President Harris and Dean Keene, and most importantly, thank you to Misty Rusk, the director of the Brink and our unrelenting visionary founder of the San Diego Angel Conference. Love working with you. Thanks, Misty. Thanks to all of our entrepreneurs who worked through rounds of pitch deconstructions, to all of our angel investors who dove into due diligence and bravely stuck with the fund through the pandemic. It takes all of us to make change and innovation happen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Stay safe, stay connected. I look forward to seeing you all in person very soon. Thanks.